Well, it's 7 o'clock and we'll get started. Board and I would like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. We really do appreciate it. We're going to start the meeting off tonight with prayer led by Mr. Clint Oldham.
Let's pray. God, we thank you for this town. We thank you for these leaders. God, we thank you for this country. We thank you that we can even meet like this and just talk about things about our city. And God, our prayer tonight is, we pray James 1:5. It says, God, that if we seek wisdom, just to ask you. And God, that's my prayer for this meeting, and for what's going to be going down here tonight, is that, God, that we seek you in it, that we seek your wisdom. God, thank you again for the blessing that you bestowed upon this town and upon these people. God, we just want to give you praise. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Clint. Tom, would you bring us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First up on the night is the minutes from the last meeting. They do require board approval. Is there any additions or deletions to the minutes?
Make motion approved.
Motion by Edward Smith, second by Paul Simpson. And we call the roll.
John Pendleton,
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yes.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
Johnny Norris.
Yes.
Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next on the agenda is the financials. Those are in your packets. They too will need board approval. Motion by Paul Simpson to approve the minutes, second by John Fennelly. Any further discussion? Amy, can you call the roll?
John Fennington.
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yes.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
Johnny Norris.
Yes.
Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next on the agenda is, department heads. First up is, Police Chief Neil Burks.
Mr. Mayor, Board, in the month of April, we answered 82 incident report calls. We worked 27 accidents with no serious injury. There was 237 citations issued for various violations. Also, we received a letter that says Selma City Court reference photo enforcement program. Honorable Court, I want to deeply apologize on behalf of our company and employee for the traffic violation that was committed. It was very obvious from the photo that our employee was in another world when he traveled through the red light. He didn't intentionally run the red light because it came to a complete stop and then went through it. He was just not paying attention, and just one of those times God was there and in control of things that could have been worse. Some might disagree with this type of program, but as an employer, it helps us know what my employees are doing on the road. Mostly it gives one the evidence we need. Once again, we apologize and thank you. And talking about the camera system, at the red flex camera system at the big intersection and the Walmart cameras, from January the 29th to March 31st of this year, there's been 1,509,829 vehicles through those two camera systems. And of that, there has been 1,200 citations issued, so you can do the math.
Thank you, Chief.
I'd like to say one time, Chief Keith here. I think we need to pause a minute and honor a former police chief of the city of Selma, Frank Harris, that most of you know. Frank was chief of police back in the 80s, I think, and he passed away and his funeral will be tomorrow, so I'd like us to remember him.
Thanks, Bob. We'll move on to, fire department. Hank, can you call?
Last month, we responded to a total of 37 calls. 19 of them was medical calls. We had 2 structure fires, 3 grass fires, 5 automobile accidents, 2 false calls, 5 public assist, 2 other. We done 10 permits and inspections last month. We had 3 training meetings. Total training hours 72, and we had 924 hours standby time. Our volunteer pay is $1,364. And there's one thing that's not on the agenda, I just got the email, I got it last night, but I didn't check my email. There is a Department of Agriculture grant that we apply for every year, you got it? Just got 15 days to apply for it, and you can get, you're always okay to do it. Now, 50/50 match, I don't know how much the match will be, but we've always covered it out of the revenue budget, so we don't have to apply for that.
What's that was a.
Department of Agriculture grant, and I don't know why, it used to have 30 days, you only got 15 now.
What would they use for me?
Just to add, equipment to our rescue, it's rescue tool equipment, just to add to it.
I'd make a motion to give information if that's in order.
How much is the grant for, Anthony? What's the
No.
maximum, you know?
Don't know yet. It's just apparently there was some extra money, and they've thrown this together real quick, probably gonna be around $10,000.
Is there anything we can use on those bottles, or no?
I'd like to second that motion.
Motion by Andrew Smith, second by Paul Simpson. Any further discussion? Ms. Sam, would you call the roll?
John Fennington.
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yes.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
Johnny Norris.
Yes.
Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Anthony. Next is, Parks and Recreation, civil dance.
report there. We've had a very busy month. We started softball this month. We had the NRA banquet the other night, which was a huge success, I believe. Just staying busy. The grant got put in for the, phase 2 of Dixie Park. Did receive another grant. It's a USDA grant, through TRPA. Not really sure. I think the total that we got is, it's no match or anything, is $2,000. And, but not sure what all I can use this for. It's got something to do with our, day camps. And, I was surprised that I didn't even apply for it and got it, so I don't know how that happened. I think they just knew that we do day camps and they called and asked if, kind of like Anthony was saying, they had some extra money and were just giving it away, so. We'll take it though. Just got the color run coming up, that we've got coming up in June, the Rockabilly Festival. It's got a lot going on. Got any questions on that, last time?
Is that the same color run that Adamsville did that was canceled through the?
It's gonna be like that. Ours, those not gonna be canceled. The one in Adamsville, the reason they canceled, they never bought the paint or the color. We already have the color, we're ready. We're just waiting on Jim to get it. And they are signing up. You can sign up online. You can sign up, by coming to the community center. You can sign up by picking up a application at, the MRA. And also on our town website, you can download the application from there. And, I mean, we're getting anywhere from 5 to 10 applications a day. So I look for this race to be a very, very good race.
Thanks, Sylvia. Next up is Building Inspector Jim Flo.
The mayor and board, 2 permits that passed month, 1 for sign, 1 for construction project. The, business, the planning commission this past month, they were approached about, rezoning a parcel on South End Soon. They, had some, administrative, items, due to some changes, in state law regarding, how, childcare is, something. And, they, had a discussion on the upcoming, submittal of, the telecommunication tower, AT&T, that is adding additional, antennas to it. That's about it. Everything runs smooth.
Any questions for Jim? Thank you. Next up is City Attorney Terry Everett.
And board, last Monday, we talked about Mayor Smith, we appeared before the Chancery Court. The money judgment was entered in our continuing effort to collect the hotel motel occupancy tax. And, the amount, the gross amount of that was a little less than we had guessed at, because at this hearing, the operator of the motel was required to produce records, and they were produced, and the total amount was about, she don't have the exact figure, it was about $29,000. Is that your memory, John? I
Yes,
think it's $29,000 and change, which is not an insignificant number. And the town would have received something less than that had it been made promptly the way it's supposed to be. But the collector, the business retains 2% for collection and remitting the funds. Obviously, that didn't happen in this instance. And we'll just kind of keep an eye on that and see what we can do to collect or don't spend it yet.
In your opinion, Terry, do we have any chance hardly whatsoever to collect that at this point?
Got a chance.
Very little.
You're just a handicapper. Since it's a public meeting, I don't want to really correct. We'll just, best I can do, we'll continue our efforts and we'll just see what happens. But, the motel itself is being operated under new or different management. I don't think that'll happen to this facility. We all want a little bit less, keep an eye on the months, but we'll just have to, we'll see what happens. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is, Public Works, Mr. Dag.
Well, Mayor and Board, would like to come before you indicating that nobody's off to give us it. So we're just out there on. Last month we had another busy month. We billed 9,200 customers. We, done 166 one-call tickets. We repaired 24 water leaks. We ran 380 work orders. We already pumped 61 million gallons of water, treated 32 million gallons of wastewater, and we already cut off 91 individuals for lack of pay. I'll be, we'll go with it and answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Before we do move any further, I had a couple things. Right after the board meeting, we do have a beer board meeting, which will entail about a business, requirement, application for a beer license. Just wanted to inform you of that. And also, I wanted to thank several people. The employees at Selmer have done a great job. I just can't say enough about them. And I wanted to say a special thank you to Miss Angie and Miss Ann for helping with the budget. It means a lot, and we were able to work together very hard, diligently, and I appreciate that. Before we move into old business, is there anyone out there would like to say anything, petition, address the board before we move into old business? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to address the board about, the street up here on, West Cypress. That sink, the street sinking in up there. I was just wondering if anybody was aware of that from the street department. That street is sinking, it's getting deeper and deeper, just about every day. I mean, we need to look into that, or we just gonna wait till somebody drives it, they'll fall in, somebody drive in or what?
Okay.
Is anybody
I haven't
aware
heard,
of that?
I haven't heard any mention of it, but we'll definitely check on it.
You know where the top of the hill is at West Cypress, right there where Square Apartments is?
Yes, sir.
Going down right there, the street is just, it's caving in.
Okay. Right around 6th or 7th?
He's right there, so.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Well, we'll move right into old business. First on the agenda for tonight is second reading of an ordinance to change the language concerning beer license revocation. This was brought up last month, and basically what this is it's just some housekeeping note to not penalize a new business moving into a location where they had gotten into some trouble for selling beer to a minor or losing their license due to some other thing too. You wanna add anything to that?
I think that previously the ordinance, I understood what changed, the previous ordinance, was punishing a place instead of a person. So we changed the rules from, if there's new ownership at a place, there would not be that mandatory 1 year waiting period. Now, it has no application to an individual who is found guilty of a violation. Just, and the very practical answer for those who weren't here is that the store down at the creek here, if the beer license of whomever was operating was revoked at some point for violations, existing ordinance would prevent any new owner from coming in and doing what is going on, that is refurbishing, spending some money, apparently getting ready to reopen. For as long as it's, we've got safeguards built in, you know, where that's, it's been in the penalty. Just changing the penalty from the place to the person.
Thank you.
I make a motion to approve the second reading of this ordinance.
Motion by Paul Simpson, second by Edward Smith. Any further discussion? Ms. Sam, would you call the roll?
John Kingston,
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yes.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
Johnny Norris.
Yes.
Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next item on old business is the second reading of a zoning ordinance in relation to submittal of site plans to be submitted in digital PDF format. And, again, we passed this last month, talked about it, it's a, just makes it a little bit easier for businesses to, submit their plans with Jim and the state planner. I'd like to entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Motion by Chris Toll, second by John Pendleton. Any further discussion? Ms. Sam, would you call the roll?
John Pendleton.
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yes.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
Johnny Norris.
Yes.
Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next item on old business, and the last item on old business is the second reading of an ordinance amending beer sales on Sunday.
I'd like to make a motion to approve that. I'll second that.
Motion by Johnny Norris, second by Chris Toll. Is there anyone in the crowd that would like to?
I would like to, I'm not a resident of Selma, but I deal with people in Selma. I deal with our community. And I know this is trivial in a lot of people's eyes, but I know alcohol and beer and all of that's already in our community. But I deal with the end product. I work in the jail on Saturday night for about 5 hours now for the last 3.5 years. People over there, we've got alcohol, we've got drugs. Beer, you think it's not a little thing, but little sins lead to big sin. People start with beer, they go from there to hard drugs. And that's, how many rehabs do we have in this community? We don't have any rehab areas. We have nothing here to restrain and to help our police department, our sheriff's department, the judge. I had all that for the judge today. We've got to do something. Now, I understand this is just a few hours of beer sales on Sunday, but it's time that we woke up as Christians and start taking our community back.
Amen.
We're losing our family. How many suicides do we have in a week's time? You ever think about that? You ever think about what's going on with your teenagers? What's going on in our community as a whole? Now, I understand, and I certainly I do not want to infringe my beliefs on someone else. We all have rights, but it's time that we put a restraint on some of this stuff. The next thing we know, we're going to be dealing with hard liquor on sales here. That's just one step closer. And are we truly a Christian community? Are we honoring Christ? Are we willing to take a stand? I know I've got 3 people in the last 2 weeks that's gone to rehab. I've got a man, first cousins. I've got a nephews that are having to go for treatment because of drugs and alcohol. And I know countless number. We're dealing with people, husband and wife, trying to get their kids back. The Department of Human Services has taken their children. Certainly they're wrong, but they need to be rehabilitated. And I can give you many names. I'll tell you, I'm sorry to say that so many people have got their head in the sand in our community. We have got to wake up. and I know many of you are aware of it, you deal with it every day. But some people just, whatever feels good, do it. But it's time that we have some kind of restraint. Start throttling in, start taking our community back, our kids, our own self. Well, I'm not gonna belabor the thing, but we are working, we've got a Reformers Unanimous program that's instituted in this community. And this is instituted to try to have an outpatient type rehabilitation for drug and alcohol related problems. We meet at Faith Baptist Church on Thursday night and also on Sunday morning. But that's not the action. The work is 7 days a week. I am continually working with these people. My phone rings constantly. People, they need help. We do have some success stories. We do have some people that's got jobs. They're breaking the habits. And I attribute that to the power of God. It's not man. But it's time that we enlist some people. If you're a Christian, let's enlist. We're ambassadors for the King. Let's start enlisting and stepping out, doing some things that's positive, right for our community, rather than selling it out to the world and the devil. Appreciate it, Mr. Mayor and Board.
I'm pastor of Faith Baptist Church, and most of y'all know me. I've been here a few times over in prayer and such. And second everything that Brother already said, he runs our youth program there. It's not just a program we run in the church, it's a program that we run in this community. We don't run it so that we can say that we've got a great addictions program. We run it so that we can help people, just as he said. But I also want to come as a parent in this community. Obviously, I come as a Christian first and foremost, standing for God, for the things that I believe in. But again, I'm not going to push my beliefs on anybody, except for the thought of one of the things that I've heard a lot about this ordinance to pass this beer sale on Sunday is that it's more convenient because people won't have to travel out of the community to get alcohol, and it'll save, it'll give us some tax money. I still would love to see numbers on what kind of tax money it'll actually bring compared to what the damage is actually going to cost. Because the only thing that's actually going to convenience, it's going to convenience more drunk driving, because you can study the figures out, and you will find that if alcohol sales go up, somebody's going to get in a vehicle and drive drunk. It's going to open up the doors to at-risk drinkers, which are the people that Brother already deals with, people who don't need access to alcohol more than they've already got it. And it's also going to open the door for underage drinking. These kids get off school on the weekend, and there was a study done by the University of Texas that showed almost all, or about 75% of underage drinking is done on the weekends because they have friends that are old enough to get it, that get it and provide it for them. And we're opening that door for them yet again. I've got on the back row, I've got all of not all of, but quite a few of the youth from our church that came out here. And I've got a little girl that turned 6 today. Mr. Norris, I'm guessing, is this one yours here? Yes, sir. Very precious little baby. As I look at these kids, my thought is, these are the ones that we're endangering. And I know that, yes, they can go and buy it up in Bethel, they can go and buy it in Adamsville, they can go and buy it in Corinth, they can go wherever they want to buy it. But we're just setting forth, if you give them the opportunity, and it may just be that one person takes that Sunday and goes and buys a case of beer, drinks it, gets in a vehicle, and it's going to be these men that are getting the phone calls that one of our babies is dead on the side of the road somewhere because of a drunk driver. The state of Tennessee puts out big commercials every year about how many people are killed in drunk driving, and then they start these big campaigns to end drunk driving and to end all this. But what are we doing? We're opening the door, saying, well, let's just give them another day to do that. If somebody really can't gets up on Sunday and says, man, I have to have this alcohol, then they're probably somebody that doesn't need it, because they're probably an alcoholic. If they can't wake up and say, man, I can't make it a day without this beer. I forgot to buy it yesterday. I've got to have it right now. That's to me, that's somebody that doesn't really need that drink. And I just think that we're endangering the lives of these young people. We're endangering the lives of us, of our community, and we're breaking down the morals. We're opening the door. You just open a little crack, and that's all the devil needs, to just tear something wide open. Appreciate your time.
I don't have any children, but I work with children every day. I love children.
And my thing of it is, we should be setting examples for our children.
Right.
What's more important, a dollar or a person's soul? And so we need to think about that. We need to set good examples for our children. Don't sell out to our children that it's okay to just go out here and grab money. Money is not always important. We need to put our children first. Like I said, I don't have any, but I'm talking about everybody else's children. They need to be put first. We need to think about them and stop thinking about the dollar.
Right.
That's what we're saying. We're all about money, not about people.
Oh, Rick, let me ask this real quick. Anybody that wants to speak, just, that's fine, but just please say your name so we'll have it for the minutes.
Name's on the license.
I'm Brenda Watson.
Okay, thank you.
I wanna say this to the board. Have y'all sat down and count the cost? Have y'all really count the cost of your decision that we need beer here in Selma on Sunday? But you know, if the man don't build on a solid foundation, he don't fall, man. See, anytime you start taking God out of something, you can look for it to fall. You can look for destruction. And I mean, it's a known fact. That's how it works. So I'm asking y'all gonna be held accountable for this decision that you finna make right now to bring that alcohol in this town on a Sunday. So what, they can go to Bethel? So what, they can go to Adamville? Let them go. They ain't gotta do it right here. We ain't gotta provide for them. That's what I'm saying. Now, I'm like the preacher here. Where's the statistics saying we're gonna get a large amount of revenue from this? Did anybody sit down and count that out? Did anybody did any evaluation on that? Well, we quick to make a decision. Guys, look, do not make decisions hastily. When you make decisions hastily, and you're gonna be held accountable. You're gonna be held accountable. So are you willing to be held accountable for what's been to happen?
My name is Mary Ann Nash. I agree with what he said. And like we say, the first thing we do at these meetings is say prayer. And then we want to, the commandment says, keep the Sabbath day holy. Is that what we're gonna do when we do this? We're taking God out of it. Sunday's God's day. It's not the devil's day. But that's what the devil's wanting, and that's what's happening right here. He's getting himself in it. And I don't see it. And like you said, if they wanna drink it, they wanna go somewhere else and get it, that's fine, go get it. Get it on Saturday night, they wanna get it. But let's not make it easier for them. But Sunday is God's day. It's not the devil's day. But it's being made the devil's day if we do this.
Mr. Mayor, Board, most of y'all know me, Jeff says, my opinion hasn't changed from last month when I spoke. If it's about the tax dollar, I'm gonna say, before the numbers are even crunched, it won't be enough to fix a pothole in downtown Selma. The thing about it is, I've heard, this is not just a few people here, this is out in the community. I've heard from people like this all over the community that's against it. Where's the opposition that's for it? Who's speaking for it? Has anybody spoke for it tonight? The board is an elected people to vote what the people want. I haven't heard anybody want it. I don't want it. Show me somebody that'll get up here and speak that wants it. Then we can get into a debate of whether or not it's right. Look, fellas, it's Sunday. Beer sales on Sunday should go. I don't have a problem with whoever wants to drink. If they want to get out here and drink a case a day, that's their prerogative to do. They got the right to do it. They got enough sense to buy it on a Friday night, a Saturday night, or a Monday morning. Sunday's not the time to sell beers. If it's about tax dollars, boys, you better get it out of your head, because ain't nobody wants it.
I got one more thing to say, but I need to say this. see, then that I know that this is a Christian. So,
Edward,
and
Absolutely.
what would Jesus do?
Yes.
I said I wasn't gonna say anything tonight, I spoke my piece, I think I did last month, but I feel like I need to say how I feel. Somebody made a comment, I believe it was Jeff Sears, that this board was elected to serve the community. That's exactly what we were elected to do. We're supposed to serve the community and what's best for the community. I voiced my opinion last month, I'm strongly against beer sales on Sunday. The mayor has voiced his opinion, he's strongly against it. I cannot understand majority of the board voting for it when the people are strongly against it.
Exactly.
We've got a number of people out there right now that represents the community well. You know, when they run a poll in the nation, they only select a few people out of thousands, and they usually have it very accurate. I'd like to ask you, is there anybody out there that thinks we should sell beer on Sunday? One person thinks we should, of course, you're an alderman's wife.
Oh, I don't share your opinions on everything.
These are not very well, but the people do not want it. The churches don't want it. As I said before, I think the slap in the face for Christian people, church-going people, come out and hear people going in buying the beer on Sunday. They can buy it Saturday night if they want to. I don't have a problem whatsoever if anybody wants to drink. I'll drink it myself. If they won't drink it, that's fine. I don't condemn nobody for it. But there are plenty of times they can buy it Sunday.
Amen.
And I don't think that this board should vote to do it when everybody is, the community is plainly saying, we don't want it. And they were elected by the people. You were out there, you elected this morning. And why are we, not doing something with the people?
And I'm not seeing one businessman in here even saying they want it. It looks like the profit would be in their pocket if it was, gonna be any money made. I don't see one of them here.
There,
You want one? Are they gonna speak?
I don't know, but I got.
Okay, Chris, I didn't ask you, are they gonna speak? I mean, I don't hear nobody speaking for it. Vote on it.
Dan, you want to go?
yeah, I'm Dan Metzger, everybody know me from running the bicycle over the country, but, now what I believe it ought to be, that ought to somehow come up with a ballot and let the whole community vote on it, whatever vote comes up, that's what it ought to be. Like, cause I've heard it happen in other states, they put a ballot on it, and the whole area vote for it, that's what it needs to be. And then whatever that's done, that's what it ought to be said, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Like Edward, I don't want to condemn anybody, but I think everybody knows that, Neil and everybody, I was John Sessions judge in Magna County for 16 years, from 74 to 90. I was on the board when we had, beer going, I don't know how many beer joints we had in the cell. Now, and I made the motion and ordinance that there would be no more places where people could sit down and drink beer. Because one of the things we had at that time, the police were having to go after all the fights or whatever they had. So, we don't need to go back that far, and I'm not saying anybody's saying we're gonna go back there anyway, because it's just not right for people to over drink and get out and hurt somebody, and that's what was happening. And the only other thing I have to say is, why is this motion being made now? Is it because of the dollars? Is it because of that they got the power and they want to do it? I don't know why. I haven't heard anybody say why this thing's been introduced. That's all I'm gonna say.
Man is driven by popularity, prestige, and power. So you think about that and all that.
Anyone else? We do have a motion, and we do have a second, so that means it can be taken away. Or we can, take it to a vote. Does anybody call for question?
Well, I made a motion last month that we abolished it, but I'm not gonna do it this time, so it wouldn't do any good if I wrote, written last time, so that wouldn't do any good.
We can do both times. What you got?
Ms. Sam, there is a motion by Johnny Norris and second by Chris Cole. Would you call the roll, please?
John Fennel,
Yes.
Paul Simpson,
No.
Edward Smith,
No,
Johnny Norris,
Yes.
Chris Cole,
Yes.
motion carried.
We do have to move on into new business.
I do hope y'all run again, because I've voted for Johnny Norris last time, I won't vote for you anymore. You know, you got me clear.
You may need to make sure we don't vote with,
I'm guaranteed you won't get no votes, I get out there, ain't it?
And that'll be fine.
Hey, buy your beer on Saturday, Johnny.
We are gonna have to move. Yeah, we need to move on, I'm sorry. First reading of the 2013-14 amended budget ordinance as may be necessary to cover capital outlay expenditures. And this is the first item of new business.
That's a motion.
Motion by Paul Simpson, second by Edward Smith. Any further discussion? Ms. Sam, would you call the roll?
John Fennelson,
Yes.
Johnny Norris,
Yes.
Paul Simpson,
Yes.
Edward Smith, Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next on new business is first reading of the 2014-15 budget ordinance. And this ordinance includes the same property tax rate for the 2014 calendar year of 0.806 per $100 value.
Make that motion, pass, first reading.
Motion by Paul Simpson, second by John Fennelson. Any further discussion? Ms. Sam, would you call the roll?
John Fennelson,
Yes.
Johnny Norris,
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yes.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next item on new business is a resolution to accept capital outlay note with Regions Bank.
That's concerned.
It's $360,000 at 2.98%. And,
this was bid off, right?
yes, sir. Several bids on that.
Move to pass.
For the, John, just because people in the audience don't know, what is that? That's for a garbage truck, it's for painting the civic center, just to let everybody know.
It's roughly $120,000 for the, garbage truck, roughly $100,000 for, a little over 5,000 feet of new paving. Two police cars. It is, including the, resurfacing of the basketball court, the painting of the civic center, the, new fence around the basketball court. It also includes, a portion of that money will go to the fire department for new bottles for their air packs while they go into house fires. A portion of that money is, for a new body to go, a new chassis to go on, a body for a new vehicle for the fire department. And did they get it all? I think that's it. Do we have a motion?
Have a motion, but not a second.
I made a motion, John Fennelson, second.
Not on this.
Motion by Paul Simpson, second by Edward Smith, I'm sorry. Ms. Sam, would you call the roll?
John Fennelson,
Pass.
Johnny Norris,
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yeah.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next item on the, new business is resolution authorizing the Selmer McNairy County Industrial Development Board to negotiate and accept payments in lieu of ad valorem taxes. What that is,
I make a motion.
Okay.
I make a motion.
motion by Paul Simpson, second by John Phillipson. And what that is, this was actually adopted in 1996, when the McNairy County Development Board was restructured. It's something that was already in place. This basically, just a housekeeping item, to have a little bit better writing in case anyone ever asks for the actual resolution. So it does help out the Industrial Development Board.
John, those big costs, the county passed this last month.
Yes, sir, unanimously.
The only thing that is going to affect the town self immediately, if this is happening, is the new solar project. And the effect on the town is almost nothing. The only thing involved is about 14 acres of tract in the city of the town of Selma. And so the property taxes on that 13-acre tract last year, I believe she said was $17. So it's a big deal, I think, for the community and the county. Money-wise, you're giving up the purchase.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Ms. Amy, call the roll.
John Phillipson.
Yes.
Johnny Norris.
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yes.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
That concludes the regular meeting. We will now open up the beer board meeting. Turn it over to Chief Burton. Thank you all for coming. Chief Burton, you wanna go ahead? I'm sorry.
Mr. Mayor, Board, we have an application for to sell beer from Mr. Tail. Name of the business is Chris Sunico. It's the old Citgo building here, and there's been a beer license there before. And we did fill out the application. They understand all the laws. Then there's been a beer permit there before. I don't see any problem with it.
Make a motion to award it.
Motion by Paul Simpson, second by John Phillipson. Any further discussion?
I might say that, this Mr. Taylor have been operating the raceway for how many years?
7, 8 years.
And, they've done a lot for the community, for the finances and run the business in a good way. And I think maybe some of you may remember an incident a long time ago that, and I think they saw that was just probably just maybe a lot of people who were just drunk or something did something. It wasn't anything against the people who, y'all, the Patels, anybody else. And we do appreciate y'all being here and taking part in our community.
Thank you.
Any
Right.
further questions? Ms. Amy, would you call the roll?
John Phillipson.
Yes.
Johnny Norris.
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yeah.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
That concludes the business of the night. Motion to adjourn. Thank y'all for coming.